Hey everyone, I'm Hossein, and I want to share the story of how I got to, well, this point. It's a pretty wild journey, and it didn't start with some big failure. Actually, it started when I got everything I thought I ever wanted. This question, this is what started it all. You know, I built the life that everyone tells you is the life, the one that's supposed to make you happy. But for me, there was just this quiet emptiness, and I just had to figure out why. So let's back up. Where did this all start? Well, it began in America. I was working as an architect, and honestly, from the outside looking in, it really looked like I had it all figured out. I mean, this was the life I had worked years and years to build. I had literally checked all the boxes for success. Got the master's degree? Check. U.S. residency? Check. House, car, money? Check, check, check. Each one of these things was supposed to be a building block for a happy life, right? But when I stood back and looked at the whole thing, it just felt hollow. And this was the real heart of the issue. On one side, you have my job, architecture. In Farsi, my native language, we'd say shughlam bud. It was my work. But on the other side, shugham nabud. It wasn't my passion. That fire, that deep sense of purpose that gets you out of bed in the morning, it just wasn't there. That side of the scale was totally empty. Look, my life wasn't hard by any stretch. It was easy, comfortable. My job had low stress, the bills were paid, the days just kind of floated by. But I was starting to realize something really important. A life without struggle isn't the same thing as a life filled with joy. And deep down, I just knew there had to be something more. So that nagging feeling, that quiet little voice saying, there's more, it got louder and louder until it wasn't a feeling anymore. It was a question. And that one question, it changed everything. I mean, think about it. If I did everything I was supposed to do to be happy and I wasn't happy, then my whole idea of what happiness even is had to be wrong. So, okay, what is it then? And where in the world do you even start looking for the real deal? That curiosity, that became my new North Star. And then, almost out of nowhere, I stumbled upon this book, where maybe it stumbled upon me. Reading The Untethered Soul was like, imagine you're in a pitch black cave you didn't even know you were in, and someone just lights a single candle. That's what it felt like. I was hooked. I read it, then I listened to the audiobook, and then I listened to it again, and again, probably over a dozen times. And out of that whole amazing book, one single sentence it hit me like a ton of bricks. We have inner work to do. And my first reaction was just, what? Inner work? What on earth is that? Like, where even is inner? That single phrase, it was like a key. It unlocked a door to this entire universe that I had been completely, totally ignoring my whole life, the world inside of me. So what is inner work? Well, to put it simply, it's the practice of turning your focus around. Instead of always trying to fix and change the outside world, hoping it'll make you happy, you start to explore and understand the world inside you. And for me, at 29 years old, this was a mind-blowing concept, absolutely revolutionary. It honestly felt like I had discovered a whole new continent inside myself. This vast, complex, beautiful, and yeah, sometimes scary, inner landscape. And you know what the craziest part was? I had no map. No one had ever handed me a guide on how to navigate my own thoughts, my own feelings. Think about this. After 20 years of formal education, 20 years, from kindergarten all the way to a master's degree, this was the very first time I had ever even heard of this concept. Isn't that wild? We learn all about the world out there, science, history, math, but practically nothing about the world in here. So that realization, it just lit a fire under me. It kicked off this incredible 6-year journey. I just dove headfirst into self-study, research, practice, everything I could get my hands on. It really felt like I had 20 years of catching up to do. And my approach to it all was actually pretty simple. I told myself, you don't need to see the whole picture right now. My only job was to follow my curiosity. Just connect this one dot to the next one. That's it. I trusted that the final picture would eventually reveal itself. So my path started with things like meditation and mindfulness. Learning how to just watch my thoughts without getting tangled up in them. Naturally, that got me really curious about psychology and how the brain works. From there, I found myself exploring Eastern traditions like Zen and Taoism, and that led me even deeper into ancient philosophies from India and China. See how each dot just connected to the next? And the whole time, for those 6 years, I was just writing everything down. Any little insight, any cool idea, any lesson I didn't want to forget, it went into my notes. I ended up with almost 500 pages of this stuff, and I had absolutely no clue what I was going to do with it. I thought it was just for me, or so I thought. And that brings us pretty much to today. Those 500 pages of notes, that whole 6-year journey of connecting the dots, it turned out it wasn't just a personal project. It grew into something much bigger. It became a mission. It's what led me, finally, to this point. I call all of this work in Nokte. In Farsi, that means this point. And it's all about the incredible power that you can find right here in this very moment. Because this is the only place life has ever actually happening. It's the culmination of everything I learned on that journey. The answer wasn't out there, in the next achievement. It was right here, in learning how to be fully present. The name itself was inspired by this absolutely beautiful poem from Rumi. And the essence of it is this: if you can truly, fully arrive right here, in this moment, you'll discover the pearl-like secret of the universe. And what is that secret? That the very thing you've been searching for your whole life is what you already are. So I want to leave you with the same question that Rumi's poem asks every single one of us. After all the chasing, all the achieving, all the searching for what's next, have you ever just taken a moment to simply arrive right here at this point?